Alright, so day one of USC's 2023 fall camp is in the books. Is it just me or did this offseason fly by? I remember last year it really felt like it took forever, but that's for sure not the case this year. So I wasn't planning on making a video about day one of fall camp, but I was actually surprised with how much noteworthy stuff happened on the first day of camp, so today I just want to go over a few observations I had in regards to the depth chart and just how some guys looked. But before we do get into that, I do want to give a major shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring today's video. SeatGeek is a ticketing service that takes tickets from all over the web and puts them into one very easy to find place. They even grade every single ticket so you know if you're getting a fair deal or not. And with college football season fast approaching, now is the perfect time to buy tickets. And when you do buy those tickets, make sure you use my promo code GGreens at checkout for $20 off your first order. That's with 3 E's and 3 S's. So again, thank you SeatGeek for sponsoring today's video. Alright guys, so let's get into this here. So the first thing I want to talk about is the player walkouts. College football is nothing like the NFL in regards to players' bodies and size. Guys change and change a lot in college, so the first day of fall camp is always interesting to see what guys look like. So first things first, let's start here with Dennis Lynch. He's looking jacked, just a true marvel of the human physique right there. Keon Bars looks like a dude. He just has that NFL look. He really looks like he's pushing 300 pounds. Solomon Tuliaupupu looks significantly bigger. He looks like he's gained 15 to 20 pounds easy. Jack Sullivan's mustache is absolutely elite. The stash alone has to get him 5+ sacks this year. Kalen Bullock looks much thicker than he has been. You don't get the nickname Sticks for nothing, so it's fantastic seeing him with a little added size. He's already one of the best players in the country. Some added mass can only help. I'm feeling better and better about my Marshawn Lloyd All-American prediction as every day passes. This guy is going to be so damn hard to tackle. He reminds me so much of J.K. Dobbins from a physical sense. Both Bryson Shaw and Damani Jackson look bigger as well. Damani is just an alien. I really hope he can stay healthy. Christian Roland Wallace looks more like a box safety or dime linebacker than he does a corner. That really speaks to his skill level and athleticism that at that size he can play corner. Guys, Braylon Shelby looks incredible. I mean, he looks ready to start game one. It's crazy. And I'm sure some people thought I was being a sore loser when I said that if it came down to it, I'd take Braylon Shelby over Mateo, but I meant it. This kid's no doubt going to be a big time player for us. Sam Green is another freshman that looks well beyond his years. This kid is already a grown-ass man, and you heard Lincoln Riley say in spring ball that Sam will be on the field this year in some capacity, and he definitely looks ready for it. Both out of curiosity and just rooting for the guy, we have to see a full season of health from Romello Height. I mean, goodness, you forget what a specimen this guy is. If that guy can just stay on the field, you just feel like he's ready to explode for a big breakout year. Eric Gentry looks considerably thicker. You see his chest and his neck. I mean, he wasn't kidding about the weight he put on. That will no doubt serve him very well this year. He was already a very good and effective player at 200 pounds. Now at 220 plus, I think he's going to be a star, much like he was in the early half of last year, and a lot of Trojan fans are going to owe him a big apology. Freshman offensive tackle Tobias Raymond was very lanky in his last year of high school, but man, he has bulked up considerably. I mean, he must have put on 30 pounds. It's very impressive the size he's added. Emmanuel Pregnon is such a large human. The fact that he moves as well as he does at that size is a terrifying thought if I'm an opposing defender. And finally, Deuce Robinson is just a freak. I mean, we all know he's big, but you see him in this video and I just can't believe that this guy is going to be lining up on the outside catching passes from Caleb Williams. Truly just a ridiculous frame that still has a ton of room to add weight. I'd like to hear from you guys on that as well. Let me know any thoughts you guys had on the player walkouts down below. Alright, so now let's talk about some takeaways from the on-field portion of practice. Just going over all the videos that are out on social media. While Bear Alexander didn't fully practice, he seemed to be in good spirits and was moving around okay. So when Lincoln says it's not a serious injury, I do tend to believe him. Most of the time, I just assume Lincoln is lying when it comes to injuries. But in this case, I don't think he is. Also, the USCFootball.com guy said that Anthony Lucas was running with the rush ends, which to me is odd and a tad bit overkill. There's so many bodies over there that I think could do a really great job. So don't know if that's completely necessary. And seeing Lucas as slimmed down as he was a tad disappointing. But if the staff feels like we're set at defensive end with Solo, Sullivan, and Corey Foreman, then I can kind of see it. But hopefully this is just some cross training and Anthony is going to be one of those guys that plays all over the D-line. But over at end is where I think his best fit is for sure. But we'll see how that develops and progresses over the next few weeks. Another thing that stood out is Caleb's ability to dance, catch a ball, and deliver the ball in stride all in one motion. I mean, you're seeing it here, that's pretty elite. He really does make everything seem effortless. Seeing Cliff Kingsbury at USC practice is still weird. Definitely going to take some time to get used to, but very cool as well. I still don't understand how any quarterback turns down the offer to play quarterback at USC and learn from Lincoln and Cliff. The offensive line rotation seems to be fully playing out. Jonah Monheim has made the move over to left tackle, which makes sense. You look at all the numbers and advanced analytics, he's the best offensive lineman on the team, period. So it makes all the sense in the world to put him at Caleb's blind side. And with Tarquin moving over to the right side, he's played there before, so that makes sense as well. I love this move. Jonah's going to make himself a lot of money this year. And the interior three do appear to be unchanged from what we saw in spring, with Kingston at left guard, Dietich at center, and then obviously now with Pregnon coming in at right guard. Another thing that stands out immediately is the depth at edge. I mean, even before you had Anthony Lucas over there, but you have Muhammad, Height, Lucas, Green, Shelby. I mean, you truly have a full stable of guys to get after the passer. Again, I would much rather prefer to see Lucas with his hand in the ground over at end, but he is a talented enough player that I think he could succeed anywhere he plays. And when you compare this year's edge depth to last year, I mean, it's really night and day. I mean, at the end of last year, you had Nick Figueroa and Corey Foreman running edge, when now this group genuinely goes 5 deep. So just a massive upgrade there. But yeah, guys, those are all the takeaways I have from day 1 of fall camp. If you guys have any that I missed, please do leave them down below in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you on that. And if you guys did happen to enjoy this video, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you do want to help support the channel in an even bigger way, you can do so over on my Patreon for only $1 a month. Major shout out to Kicker Bruin and Janice, who recently became our newest gold tier patrons. But guys, thank you so much for all your support. You're all awesome, and as always, take care and fight on.